Okay, perfect. I think most people are joining in, but we'll make a start since it's 3:05. So thank you everyone for joining on middle of the day, middle of the week, to know more about Deep Tech Geeks, the competition under Deep Tech Middle East and Africa. I will start by introducing Hassan, who is the manager for Deep Tech Middle East and Africa, and he will be sharing a little bit more about the context of this ecosystem, and then we'll go into the competition.
Thank you, Samran, and hello everyone. This is Hussein Mustafa Azadin. I'm like the project manager for the DeepTech Maya initiative. And today I think our focus will be on the DeepTech Geeks competition, and Samran will show you like a lot of info about the competition itself. But today, yes, I will start with a little brief about the DeepTech Maya initiative and what's that. So today we will talk about the DeepTech Maya ecosystem, the competition structure, and also we'll talk about the stages of the competition and everything relating to the next steps. So let me start with the Deep Tech Maya initiative. This is like a regional initiative. We started like working on the deep tech industry like since 7 years. But for the Deep Tech Maya initiative itself, it was the launching of it was on the last year. Every year we are like going to GITEX and having our activities there with a big exhibition, a big forum. The winners of the competition come and you will see like how the winners will take or what the winners will take. Also, like we have a participation from like around plus 30 countries in the past years, plus 5,000 exhibitor from different sides, from industry, academia, startups, governments, and different local and regional communities. We are working with around 80 partners from the past editions, and inshallah this year will be like a very good thing. This is like a complete platform that's like connecting different kind of people in a big place, and to have like sharing ideas, to start working with each other if there's an opportunity to network, of course, and collaborate. This activity is held inside GITEX Expand North Star. So the winners from you, and I will let the mic for Simran, will come and to see like each other. And of course, there will be like another couple of opportunities for the people who will not qualify for the finals yet. Okay, so next.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Hassan. So, going then deeply into the competition itself, I think this year's edition really doubles down on the word disruption. So, not only are we looking for disruption in terms of technological breakthrough, but we're also looking for disruption in businesses and their models that are ready to scale. Being in Dubai and with the ecosystem that the UAE provides is also a great plus point. But even though it is in the Middle East and Africa region, we really have a global ethos, which is why the competition is held completely virtually. So your registration, shortlisting, mentorship, and finals will all be in the next few months. That will be virtual processes. And then the in-person showcase will be in the deep tech ecosystem in the event of GITEX in October this year, as Hassan mentioned. The focus really is on startups that have emerged and immersed themselves in deep technology, but also are past maybe the MVP stage and are ready to really scale up with growth and globalization. So, moving on, I'm going to talk about a little bit more about the regional scale of this competition. Really, there's a lot of regional momentum about deep technology, and that doesn't only mean funding and monetary value, but that means investing in infrastructure, clusters, and policies that all allow for technology to be experimented with and then commercialized. So, really, Dubai and the UAE is acting as a sandbox for deep technology ventures, right? And this they do through their policymaking, through their industry and academia efforts. In terms of the Deep Tech Geeks, it'll give you the stage to not only have a platform for visibility and coverage, but also to have meaningful access to both investors and buyers. So whether you're ready to sell or you're ready to raise, the Deep Tech Geeks competition will give you that access. And the third thing that I would like to highlight is that it's your perfect route into commercial pathways because the region is really focusing on commercializing technologies and taking it into more accessible mediums. In terms of setting the stage as to who our audience is for this competition, as I mentioned, we're looking for startups that have a very solid innovation vision, and they have immersed themselves in technologies from AI, robotics to quantum computing, clean energy, biotechnology. The sectors are really broad, and some of them are mentioned on the slide here. But the main eligibility also comes down to where they are at their startup stage and the spectrum, right? These should be businesses that ideally are past the MVP and they're thinking about commercialization or have already started commercialization. And how we sort of see this metric is by market traction. So some sort of market traction should be ideally achieved. And by that, it's not only revenue making, but it could also be some pilot contracts, initial testing and approvals. Those could be also examples of market traction. And really a strong IP background, since we're talking about deep technologies that are really emerging and have very strong innovation arm to them. A strong IP background would be a sort of ballpark metric that we do look for. So I'm just going to go through the competition timeline. The good news is that we've already started applications about 10 days ago, but we still have about 3 weeks till 16th of July where we are taking in registrations online on our website. I'll get a little bit more into what the registration looks like and the logistics of that, but really that's the application period from the beginning of June to mid of July, after which we will do a short internal shortlisting process. If your startup and venture has been shortlisted for the competition, we will give you access to mentorship and training for a month, starting from 17th of July to 15th of August. Here, there will be training, which is more sort of delivered workshops, and then there will be mentorship that's one-on-one communication with mentors. The final submission post this mentorship period, where you've tweaked your ideas a little bit, hopefully, and gotten some value add, is the final submission on 16th of August. And the winners will be announced on 1st of September. So there is a real runway here to GITEX, and it's not a rushed process. 1st September's winners are announced, and GITEX is in the second week of October. So it gives you a good 5 to 6 weeks to prepare for the showcase. Then I want to talk about the mentorship phase, right? So as I mentioned, everything in this competition is virtual so that we include our global ethos and make it accessible to everyone. And mentorship to me over here is sort of the value add of DeepTech Geeks, right? Because this means that even if you don't make it to the 3 winning positions of the finalists, and as Hassan was saying, there's something for everyone here, right? It's the fact that if you get shortlisted to mentorship, you get access to strategic inputs from people around VC, around policy making, investments, startup founders, think tank leaders, and the list goes on. But really, you get inputs that will allow you to market validate a little bit more, will allow you to think about scaling, will allow you to think about your business model and those sort of things, right? So mentorship, which is done virtual, is really important. And I think it's a big plus point of joining the competition. It's also, as I mentioned, mentorship will be one-on-one with the startups, and we will have a few sessions where you can have maybe 30 to 40 minutes with these mentors. And then there will be training sessions to discuss more about business topics and how entrepreneurship can be scaled and how your model can be validated. So in terms of the prices, there are 3 top prices, as I mentioned. The first one is a fully sponsored pod at the GITEX North Star, arena, and this will be underneath the DeepTech NEA MEA pavilion, and this includes also the flight tickets and accommodation in Dubai. The second one will be 50% off the pod and discounts on the accommodation as well, and the third will be 25% discounts, right? So these are the 3 competition prices, and obviously the sort of broad overarching theme is to do with investor introductions, media coverage, and regional visibility. It really gives you an in to the region, and it gives you access into the things that are growing here, regardless of only the monetary value. Okay. Then I want to speak about the pod itself a little bit, right? So for anyone who's unfamiliar with GITEX, right, it's you get traffic in this convention from about 170 plus countries. You have a lot of government and academic delegations and a lot of institutional buyers and investors, which is what makes this unlike other conventions where it's just about the demonstration of your products. GITEX means a real business, and deep tech is that sort of little micro arm that focuses on technology and commercializing that. So you have access to the summits that happen, the panel discussions that happen, but also the traffic that comes into GITEX and will, be by your pod will be people who are not only ready to fund your business, but people who can be real customers and real clients for your ideas, right? So just a little bit visual of what the pod looks like. It's a stand in the Deep Tech Maya Pavilion at Expand North Star and can be branded according to your business collateral. And I sort of want to highlight the previous success story. So to just honestly show that this model that we're creating really works. So last year when we had held this competition, we had three diverse businesses that came in and they were exhibited at Deep Tech Maya. And they were through the DeepTech Geeks competition, right? So the first place was a German company called White Sky Cloud that looks at cloud infrastructure management and uses technology to do so. The second one was from Saudi Arabia, and it was to do with space tech and satellites that give in data to space technology. And the third one was to do with electric vehicles, EV, and was from India. So what I want to highlight here that it wasn't only diversity in terms of the countries that they came from, but really diversity in terms of the subsectors of deep tech as well, right? That's something to think about as to where you really fit in that scheme of things. And if I were to give sort of an overarching theme to why they made it to the finals, it's probably because their clarity of purpose and their vision for their company was really strong. And they also had a very strong readiness to scale and grow in the Middle East, right? They knew that this was deep tech Maya and their relevance of their model was focused at that. I want to more broadly sort of speak about the evaluation criteria here. Although we don't follow a certain rubric that's accessible to you, I want to talk about the main pillars. And I think the main pillars are four here, right? The first one is traction. And, are there any pilot customers, like I mentioned, any partnerships, any contracts that you've done? There's technology and IP, which is, I think, the foundation of deep tech in general. Is it defensible? Is it scalable? The other one is your clarity of vision. As I mentioned, all the winners in the past had that. So are you mission drifting or are you evolving or do you have a clear business structure in place? And then is the fit and relevance to the region. So as I mentioned, this is really a pathway to commercially enter the market here. So we really are looking to support businesses in all ways possible that at least have their vision and their model that is relevant to the region and the needs of the region. So this is the steps to apply. We have the deeptechmea.org/deeptechgeeks website, which requires you to submit your pitch deck in PDF, your team and company details, and any optional demonstrative videos or additional information you have. Feel free to post it on there, right? In terms of application, it's 16th of July, so we still have about 3 weeks to go. I urge you to just honestly apply because, as I mentioned, it is a competition which gives you a value add during the process of application as well through mentorship and feedback. It isn't that you apply online and you get a yes or no and then you're out. You do have 3 places to win, but throughout the process there is a value add to your business. In terms of my final tips, I'm going to make it very quick. Is I think this is very general business sort of validation, right? Which is, especially in the case of deep tech, I think we're really looking for a clarity on what problem you're solving. So are you addressing the right problems or is your technology just amazing scientific breakthrough, but doesn't really address any problems in the market currently, right? What's really unique, defensible about the technology you're building and how you've packaged that commercially commercially. Where you're going next, I think grow and globalization was sort of the two main factors we were looking at. Any relevant traction points, please mention them. I don't think traction only means commercial traction and sort of monetary revenue. It could be anything that you've been doing and has been market validated. And also your keen interest to grow within the region, right? Um, in terms of summary, I also want to say I like to call it sort of the three C's that this competition will give you. It'll give you coverage, it'll give you connections, and it'll give you credibility. So those are the three C's that the Deep Tech Geeks competition looks at. We have partners from many countries. We have direct MOU signing opportunities at the competition and the ecosystem at Deep Tech Maya. So I would say it's really a question of why now, why, and Dubai really plays a key role in that as well. We're plugging in your model into a regional value chain and system that's already being built. So it's more plug and play for you guys if you're focused on growing and scaling. That's it from my end in terms of the information. I hope that clarified the structure, the logistics, things like deadline, what we're looking for, and the incentive for you to really join. We're happy to open the floor to any questions, English, Arabic, whatever you prefer. You can post them in the chat, or I think maybe you can unmute yourself. I'm not too sure, but feel free to ask the question. Thanks.
Okay, so anyone have a question, please? We are here to answer your questions. Yeah. Is everything is clear? So we want to like to listen to your voices. If anyone want to share, yeah.
Yeah, and Hassan, if I've missed out on any points, feel free to add in as well.
Yeah. No. It was great. I think everything is clear. Only I want to add this is like a real very good opportunity without having like a big thing to do at the beginning from your end, and it will give like a big exposure for your startup if you are joining. And I hope everyone like to if you are not applied yet, then apply. If you are applying or you applied, so you will see like how this will expose you. Last year experience from like many startups I have talked personally. We have also like last year like three winners, and we have also another 8 startups came from the competition. They were not from the winners, but they participated. All the feedbacks were like that it was a very good opportunity to showcase and to network. Jitex is one of the biggest events that supporting and focusing on the part of the investors and having like a real access to the market. Also, if you are like a startup who are outside UAE and you want to come and to like soft land and see like the opportunities, this is like a real value you will get from participating in Jitex. So I hope everyone to get this benefit and everyone to join. And we are here if anyone also have any kind of questions. Okay, I think it's good. So yeah, Simran, yes, please inform.
Yes, perfect. So just before you leave, you can scan the QR code to register and see what the form looks like. Also, we'll be hosting a few other orientation sessions as well in the coming few days. So if you have anyone in your network that could, benefit from this, please follow us on LinkedIn and Instagram. And any information that you need will be found there, and you can always reach out to the team as well. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. And the recording also for this session will be on YouTube channels and on Facebook. You will see it. So yeah. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you. Good luck to everyone applying, and looking forward to seeing the applications.
Yeah.